Hey, first one, illuminating limiting stories. Exciting. I love these calls. So thanks for being here. What we're going to do is we're going to deep dive into the lesson and what it brought up for you, because obviously this lesson would have touched on a lot of stories that you've been telling yourself for probably all your life. So, and they, believe it or not, really impact on your practice and, your connection to yourself and to spirit and all of that. So, I would love if you ladies would share what came up for you. What stories, particularly, were quite big for you that you noticed?
Who wants to go first?
Yo,
Ah, nice one. You go first
I've
next.
got you tagged. I know you want to go first. Yeah,
Tag.
anyway,
That's because she went
Yeah,
last.
what a cool exercise that was. And it actually ties into what I'm working on with my counselor. And yeah, I have a lot of self-doubt about everything, all sorts of things. I think I feel odd. I don't feel smart enough. I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, and or I don't know who I am, and that's a big question at the moment. But I'm now by kind of deep diving, I've kind of realized that it's comes down. The more I dig, oh, it was brilliant. So writing, and all of a sudden this girl's name just came up on my page, and it was a girl at primary school. And I used to have this weird relationship with her because we shared a best friend. So if I think about it, I was her enemy that she kept close. So she wasn't nice to me. And I just had a whole movie screen in my head of all the looks she gave me, all the comments. And then I also was like, I had two friends like that, one in college, one in primary. Then I'm seeing cousins look at me weirdly. I'm looking at nuns looking at me weirdly. I've got Samoan family going, you can't do that. I've got English family going, you can't do that. And I basically had no one to guide me through all this information that came at me because my parents were both working. And I kind of believed everything everyone said. But now I've got to the point where I'm so fucking confused. So yeah. So how does it manifest? So when I my limiting belief of doubting myself and feeling a bit odd, um, the belief, because I know what I know and I know what I believe, but I doubt myself because of these little looks that I've had over my time growing up. And how it manifests is that I people please and I play it small and I make sure that everyone else is taking care, not myself, because I'm worried I'm going to lose my friends and family. And to me, that's big. Not now, because back then when I programmed this in my head, I was like, I can't annoy them. I love my friends. At that point, I would do anything and I'd say anything just to if I didn't agree, I'd just be quiet. Um, and yeah, it comes back down to kind of feeling hurt and embarrassed by people giving me these looks, teachers, cousins, my dad, these two girls, kind of being labeled as weird as a child. But maybe I was. And you know what? Maybe they weren't even looking at me like that. Maybe I made it up in my head.
Well, no doubt you did, actually.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
know how sometimes you go, "Hey, are you annoyed with me or something?" And they look at you and you go, "No, I was just thinking about how I missed the bus yesterday and how I have to buy some butter." And you're like, "Oh, it's nothing to do with me." And you can just so that's something I need to work on. Um, So for me, how does it block my growth? Nothing changes because I'm too scared to make a decision. And I look at what I can't do versus what I can because I've been just told no and can't, no and can't. And those Catholic nuns have a lot to do with it too. I tell you, the more I think about them. Um, so not to have that limiting belief, I would live a life with so much less emotional mental stress. It's so exhausting. Yeah, less anxiety, more relaxed, and less overthinking, just grabbing life by the horns, I guess, and just feeling confident in the way I move through the world instead of second guessing myself and going through my little pre-programmed tabs going, oh, but she said that, and he said that, and she said that. No, 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 no. So that was the doubting myself, odd one out one. So I've got information for each of them, but that was the general theme. People, just too many influences, and I've taken on too many opinions. And I think about my daughter, who knows who she is and what she wants, and she's had a completely different upbringing. She's been in a small bubble at home with mum and dad. She doesn't see much of the Samoan family. There's no religion. There's no one's badgering her and telling her that anything's wrong. In fact, we're just letting her be. And so I was talking to her last week, and I was helping her to make a decision, and she made a decision, and I just kept going. Oh, you could do this, and you could do this, and she goes, "No, mum," and I kept going, and she goes, "Mum," I said, "No, I already know what I'm doing," and I went,
Oh,
"Oh,
beautiful.
wow, girlfriend, you can do that at 15. I wish I could have done that."
You're learning from her. Isn't
She
that
stopped.
beautiful?
She stopped the blah blah blah, mum. No, really simple, and it wasn't rude.
She was listening to herself.
I was like, oh,
Mm.
cool, that's resolved. I don't have to bleat on.
No, that's beautiful. So,
Yeah,
so I'd love to speak into that, Lilina. Thank you for sharing all that because that's quite huge. All of that. It's really
yeah.
big. And there's a couple of things that I feel that's really popped up there. One is I'd love to know what happens when this comes up. So when you're triggered in this
Yep.
doubt,
Mm-hmm.
how are you, what is your response?
I go into the defense mechanism kicks up. If there's a conversation and and this is the problem, I feel and I know, but you can't tell people with scientific backgrounds. I've got so many friends that just look at me like whatever. Things are getting easier because all the energetic science research has been coming out in the last couple of years, so that kind of has helped. But what happens is I just don't speak up. I don't stand up for myself. I don't go for any jobs. I just always playing it small. Um,
And you're finding what part of it
yeah,
are you finding exhausting? Is this the holding it down?
overthinking, overthinking, doubting myself, which is still part of the overthinking, thinking what others think. Fucking hell, all the thinking, cogs going a million miles an hour, whether I know it or not.
So how would it feel for you if you sat with it in your body instead of allowing the thoughts to come in? How would that feel?
It feels better now that I can identify it now. And that's what I can see what this exercise is. It's brilliant the way that you've gone step, 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 step. Now, what does the future look like? Now, twist that limiting belief on its head. It's like, aha, brilliant.
First of all, and this is something that I didn't talk about in the lesson, is first of all, yes, you've acknowledged it, but we've also there's a big part of releasing in this as well. And so we've just been stuck, and all of us are like this. We're stuck in default. And default is you feel something, you don't like it, so you push it away. Even good thoughts, you like it and you want to hold on to it so much. But either way, whether you're pushing it away or you're holding on to it, you're actually creating some kind of resistance. You're not allowing it to flow. And when there's a trigger there, it's always energy coming up to be released. So it's an opportunity for it to be released because we've been holding it down for so long and that's why it constantly comes up. So until we've actually released it, it will keep coming up.
And that's when I have done it once or twice, I shake. I shake.
Beautiful. Yeah.
and then I'll cry. And maybe I need to just keep doing that a little bit more till I've pushed myself off over the edge where I've released it, and then I won't have such a big, because the minute I go, oh shit, I'm in this situation, I doubt myself, I doubt my answer, I don't trust myself, the fight flight mode kicks in, and then I don't know what the hell is going on in my mind.
So you
And
go
that's when,
directly you go directly from the trigger to the mind.
yeah.
You're completely bypassing the actual feeling in your body, the
Mm,
actual energy of it. So if you can hold, so when that comes up for you, if you can hold that in the body, feel it, and whatever you need to do, sweetie, if you need to cry, if your body shakes, let it happen,
mm,
and let it happen. And then once you feel better, the thought will still be there,
mm.
but it's just a
But
thought.
it's the
It's
energy out of
just
the body.
Yes,
Mm,
and the other thing is that the mind is always going to remind you that it's there. It's constantly going to go around telling you, oh, Lilina, but remember what happens when this happens. And so you're always going to be brought back to it from your mind, but also from when you experience it outside of yourself. So there's two ways that it's going to come back to you. But the
mm,
mind is something that it's just relearning what, instead of believing what the mind is telling you, it's
mm,
observing it and saying, well, it's got no control over me. It's just a thought. That's all it is.
mm,
Because if we can stop, what happens with the mind? I mean, there's the ego mind and the mind, but what happens with the monkey mind is that you can have a thought, and then you tap into it, and then before you know it, it's become a story which isn't
yeah.
even true. It's just some made up load of crap that you've decided to believe. And so if you can stop it at, oh, there's the thought, okay, yeah, I see you, but
Mm.
that's not, I'm going to stay in my body.
And then next time you think of that thought,
Yeah,
the feeling's gone.
yeah,
You can manage it.
yeah. And that's
Yeah.
the thing. And it takes time. It's not something that's going to suddenly, oh, yes, you might get it, but it's the practicing of it.
Yeah.
That is the tough part.
It is tough because sometimes it needs to happen in front of work colleagues or bosses or road rage or excuse me, road rage person. I just need to have a moment here. Could you just help me release the energy?
I know that is the really tough bit. I
Yeah.
mean, if you can take yourself away, so if you're triggered and you're feeling it coming up and you're going, I just want to sit with my body right now, you can actually do that. The more that we do these exercises, the more that we get into this course, the more you'll find it easier to come back to your body in the moment without it
Mm,
having to become a drama in your outside world.
yeah.
But it's just
Brilliant.
really recognizing it right now. Actually, that doesn't have power over you. The trigger,
Mm,
the past experience, and the thought does not have power. Your soul, you have power. And you have power by being in your soul, feeling your body, feeling into your body. It also grounds you in that moment, brings you back to down to the earth and out of your head.
mm.
So, so
Thank
how would
you.
that feel, Alina, if you tried that?
Scary. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to think of different scenarios with different people. Um, yeah, and it's, I mean, I know how to articulate, well, sometimes I don't know how to articulate myself, but when the flight and fight kicks in, there's just no words apart from fuck you. Really, really
Yeah.
articulate that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. Absolutely.
Mm, mm.
Remind yourself
I'm
in that moment when the fight and flight comes in, what is that? Is that your body or is that your mind? What's in control there?
Well, my mind's triggering it, isn't it?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just having a thought where I have been in those situations where I'm triggered And I've told myself I need to calm down and I need to just sit down and breathe. And then another side of me, which is a lot more powerful, goes, no, fuck it. And I get, yeah, I override what I really need to be doing, and I make things worse.
And it's not
Mm.
you that's doing it, it's your mind. That's actually not you. It's just an aspect of your physical body.
Mm.
So
Mm.
if we identify ourselves as the mind, that's when we start putting ourselves down because we believe everything the mind's telling us, which is always negative.
Mm.
It's never positive.
Mm.
Your mind's never
Yeah.
telling you how amazing you look. Unless, of course, you look
Mm.
more amazing than the other person, then your ego mind's telling you that you look better to make you feel better, you know? So
Mm.
remember, we are soul. That's who we
Mm.
are. We're not mind. And this is a
Beautiful.
process. This is a process. Honestly, it'll take time. It's a lifetime. So anything else that you want to share that's come up for you?
What else did I have? They all just came, they all had the theme of just not feeling good enough, and that don't know what I'm talking about. What was the other one? Yeah, and it was one that you'd brought up, I don't feel spiritual enough. It's like, if I don't know who I am, how am I going to heal others, and if I'm messed up, I shouldn't be going near anybody. And also, I don't live a prime example of living and breathing spirituality day in, day out. And, um, you know, and I look at people, when I don't want to judge, but, there's a certain look with some spiritual people, and they might have a crystal around their neck. And that's just really stereotyping someone. And I feel like if I don't have no shoes on and I'm not all floaty, and here I am in my gumboots and bogan jeans, I'm like, I'm not. I can't be that. And so I kind of come up with all these different excuses. I don't know the lingo, and I just love the way that they have freedom and they go where the wind takes them, and I'm stuck at a desk still.
And who's telling you that you're not spiritual enough and that you're not spiritual if you're not these things? Your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how I flip that on its head and I reverse that belief, I just said the journey has now started towards spirituality.
Yeah.
We're
100%.
starting.
Well, you
I love.
started the day you were born, actually.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
just just you've got to the point now where you're aware of it.
Mm,
Right?
mm.
Yeah. Mm.
And along with that, also, just because I don't live and breathe that lifestyle, and I have all sorts of, I just feel kind of pulled towards so many different identities. That doesn't help either. But that's what we're here for.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm so pleased you brought that up about the different identities. That's your ego mind
Mm,
creating this
mm,
identity of yourself. So, if you said to me, I'm Lolina and I live in the Kapiti Coast and this is my job and I have this many children and that's your ego mind. That's actually not
mm.
you. It's not who
No.
you are. That's just an identity your ego's created for you.
Mm,
So this is like you're undoing something that you've had for a life. And it is scary. It's really scary. So in those moments where a trigger comes up and you know what to do, but you still divert to the old default. It's okay. It's okay. It's not,
mm.
we don't want to beat yourself up about it. It's just you've just acknowledged and become aware of what's happening, what's going on in the moment. And so you're relearning. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the exciting part about it, is just unpacking all this,
Yeah.
where it was just a big heavy, "Ugh, I don't know, and I don't know why, and I haven't got time to think why," and then kind of like pulling it all apart and understanding it. It's such a huge relief. We haven't even got started.
No, I know. That's why this is the most important part, is the foundational stuff. So
Honestly, when I wrote that girl's name down on this piece of paper, I just went, Amy Robinson. I sat there for about 15 minutes going, Amy fucking Robinson. She said to me, I was just telling my counsellor about her today as well. She said to me when I was 11, you're so flat chested, you're never going to have boobs. And I remember seeing her in my 30s and going, kind of just sticking my chest out.
she
It
probably
was
didn't
one
even
of the,
remember saying that to you.
that was just like, yeah, exactly. You're so
Yeah.
flat chested.
But
You're
you
never going to.
remembered it. You remembered it
Oh,
because it
yeah.
impacted you.
Oh,
Yeah,
everyone had
I
big
get that.
boobies. I was the flat chested one. But
So,
yeah,
so tell me what are the new limiting beliefs that you created?
okay. That I'm not smart. I feel like,
New ones.
yeah, I just don't feel like I'm smart, but it's because I have so many clever people around me, and I just feel like they're all smarter than me. And I really have, and I don't know why, I'm still working on this, why I really put myself down for smoking marijuana, where, and I keep thinking everything that I do that might be wrong or a mistake, I go, oh, that's because you do that. I've just started watching other people make these mistakes, and they don't smoke marijuana. They're just normal mistakes. So I just love to give myself an emotional beating all the time, just finding different ways to put me down.
Yeah, it's great that you're noticing this. It
Mm,
really is.
mm,
But
yeah,
I don't want you to hold it against yourself. It is what it is,
no,
Alina,
no.
you know?
So I'm looking at my other screen. I've got another screen over there. That's why I keep looking over there at my
Mm.
information. I also have that I guess that ties into the don't feel spiritual enough because I don't know who I am. And that's something that I'm working at the moment with the counselor and also your course. Um, but how that kind of manifests by having so many identities is there's confusion in my head, and then I don't have the confidence, and then I don't grow from that because I'm just stuck. Um,
So,
and
so,
I get talked into doing things that I don't really want to do. Not bad
so,
things.
yeah. So when these come up for you, do you know or feel the underlying emotion attached to them?
Embarrassment and shame.
So do you allow yourself to feel those?
Unconsciously, yeah. I don't go,
Consciously.
hey, that's shame, that's guilt, that's what that is. I just feel it and go, ooh, that's me.
You don't have to name it because
Mm,
that's not necessary. It's feeling it. So if you're feeling it and you're allowing the emotion to come up with it, that's really good. That's
mm,
beautiful.
mm,
That's a massive step towards releasing. So in each of these triggers, as they come up, allow yourself to feel the emotion, because often there's layers of emotion. So, we often have like jealousy or judgment or anger as the top layer.
yeah.
And then it's just asking, you're sitting with your soul and asking what is sitting underneath this, and then what is sitting underneath this. And then you'll be shown, because you'll feel the emotions that come up. You want to
Mm,
get to the deepest layer of that and then allow that to release. And then after a while, you'll get to a point where you won't even feel it the same.
yeah.
They won't affect you the same way. But to start with, it's getting to those deeper levels
Mm.
as much as
And
you
and
can.
it's about stopping and being still. And that's one thing that I have in my life is it's too busy for my liking. So I may have it trigger, but I may have it while I'm on the way to pick up my girl and need to dial into a Zoom meeting 20 minutes later. So that feeling, I don't just stop the car and go, I need to stop and process what's happening. I just keep going and going and going, and then all of a sudden all these other feelings are compounded. And yeah, having a busy I guess why meditation is a really good way of taking that break.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to say no to everything. There's just, I look at my calendar, I'm like, why the hell am I so bloody busy?
so we talk about boundaries next week. That's another big one. So yeah, we'll come back to that. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Lelena. We'll probably come back to you.
Mhm.
Helen, how about you?
Gosh, interesting. Listening to you, Lalina. Oh, it's interesting. I think about where I am, but if I go back, what are the self-limiting beliefs and things that get in the way? And I think fundamentally, for me, when I think about these things and I unpack it, I spoke when we caught up about not trusting anybody. Like I don't believe people, whatever they say. And I think that has played out quite a bit. And that goes, to my childhood. I was the youngest one. Um, Mum had an affair. I don't know, I must have been about 10 or 9, even maybe younger. And I knew what was going on and sort of knew what was going on with my parents, but they were treating me as too young to understand what was going on. Parents were all, my brother and sister were out of the house. So it was sort of, I guess at that point just began to be pushed to the side and not really acknowledged because there were more important things for other people to do. And so I
How did that make you
became,
feel?
you do.
How did that make you feel?
Oh, how did it make me feel? I unloved is the like or not lovable is the thing, and that's where the not trusting people or not believing people comes in because I don't believe that I'm a nice person. Is
Have you
fundamental.
have you unpacked that, Helen? Like, do we like if you're okay with, can
Yeah,
we just do that now?
yeah.
So so I would love you just to close your eyes for a moment and just to ask yourself what is sitting underneath that feeling of feeling unloved or not lovable.
Um, I know I might not get this right, but being set aside, no one really, as a child, and I'll go to it started as a child. Um, Being the third one coming through, no one really cared what I was doing. They didn't care where I was going with my life. They didn't, yeah, basically there was no one who cared about my life choices or what that was going to be. So I was just basically left to my own devices.
Yeah. And what is the feeling what is the feeling from that? What are you
Uh,
feeling?
Sad, isolated, unloved, unsupported, alone. Um,
Alone.
yeah.
Alone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when anything comes up where initially the trigger is that you don't trust, do you allow that alone, sad feeling come up?
No. In short, no.
Yeah.
I get
Because
on and I just move on and I get on. I actually mentioned to someone recently, and who nice friend sends me lovely emails and things like that, but it's all so nice to see you. And I go, you might realize that when people say things like to them, I just move on. I don't even hear it. It's just I like, yeah, whatever. And then I move on. So
you don't
yeah, I
believe
don't
it.
sit in it. Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
believe in their authentic
No,
truth.
no, no.
Ah. So how would it feel, Helen,
Anything. Yeah.
if you allowed that feeling to come up when you're triggered like this?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to sit in it because sometimes I don't even notice I'm triggered, right? I'm just going, oh yeah, okay. So I'm sort of not going, oh my God, I'm triggered. There's no reaction. Um, Apart from in a I have been inquiring into this space for a wee while. It's like, what's going on? Because it plays out in the workspace, it plays out everywhere, right? And so I have been digging into it and going, oh, can I shift that? Can I get out of that? What is this all about? So even for me to say to someone, you might notice I do this, it's because I'm really trying to work through and understand that I have an automatic reaction that I disbelieve and distrust. And I'm got to get out of that space, because people wouldn't say those things if they didn't mean it, right? But I move on. I move on quite quickly, and it's like, it's okay, because I can look after myself. I don't need anyone anyway. So, can't trust what they say, because they might just do the dirty on you.
Mm.
So your beautiful mind kicks in with a defense
Yeah.
mechanism and goes, I can deal with this. I'm a survivor,
Yeah.
so it's keeping you safe.
Yeah.
And what's happening is it's blocking out so much more from coming into your life.
Mm.
So if you can, do you
You're
feel that
frozen on us. Oh,
sorry, have I?
you're not
am I
now.
there?
Back.
Okay, cool. So do you feel safe enough to feel the emotion when the triggers come? Because now, Helen, you're going to notice the triggers. You're going to go, oh, I see that.
Yeah.
What's that? And so,
Yeah.
how would you feel sitting with that and feeling the emotion? Because it'll want to bubble up. And what
Yeah, I
we
can feel it now. I can feel it now.
Mm.
It's quite different to sit in it and go, okay, sit in it. Yeah.
and feel it.
Yeah. Mm.
How does
I can
it feel
feel
for
it.
you? Does it feel safe to allow it to come out?
Yes, it feels safe to allow it to come out. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we were talking about it before with Lalina, in a situation where you're surrounded by people or and you're in a busy space and you get triggered, it's not going to be easy for you to do.
Mm.
But if it's in your home and it's like a work thing and you're online and you can take yourself away, that would be the first place to start practicing,
Yeah.
to allow that to come out, because the more that you bypass, the more that you're shutting yourself down and you're shutting yourself off from experiences. And there's no judgment here at all.
I
None.
know, I understand that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
I would never do
And
that.
that's why we're here, right? And
Yeah.
that's
That's
why I'm
right.
here now, and it's all about
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to share, because I mean, I'm a great believer. Once I commit to something, I know it's gonna move quite quickly, and the timing's always perfect, right? It's because I'm ready. I've the dreams have been out of this world, and yeah, a couple in particular, because I've looked them up and they're all about emotions, which is interesting. So one of them was Saturday night. It was like a big bird came and then wrapped its wings around me, and I was cocooned in this bird. I can still feel it now. It was really quite real. So it was an eagle. I've worked out, I thought it was a seagull. I was a bit disappointed. Then something came up on my feed. I'm like, no, it was an eagle. That's it. I never get anything like that. So, and that is like cocooned, and it's all about needing or wanting to sort of tap into that more emotional connection and get that a little bit more, and wanting to feel that you can have that with other people. So that was one, and I woke up feeling great. It felt nice, like I was cocooned. The next night, then that was Saturday night, and then on Sunday night I had a dream about everything being wet, and there was water everywhere. I said to my daughter, like, she was in the dream and she was trying to put her kids in the pram, but putting them into water, anything. Like, I was like, what do you think you're doing? But I couldn't get away. There was water everywhere. Everything was wet. And that's all about emotions, right? Water, it's all about emotions as well. So I'm feeling the kinks maybe getting scratched at. I don't know. In my mind, it's like, yeah, it's a little scratch. Anyway, I've had other dreams, but those were the two where I'm like, right, okay, I'm hearing, I'm getting it. It's like you need to, break down these emotional walls that are there. Because I think, like even when I'm teaching yoga, I can be really in the room, I'm really present and I'm present for people and I'm there for people. But if anyone was to ever try and reciprocate and bring it the other way, that's when the walls come down.
So you're
Like
not
I'm
present.
here to give.
Yeah, you're not present for yourself either.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
sitting in anything that is uncomfortable has been uncomfortable, and so it's been avoided, which
yeah.
I understand when you've got a lot of trauma,
Mm,
it's huge.
yeah,
So, I just want to applaud you and acknowledge your courage here, because it's not easy to step into something like that. And I think that the dreams that you've had are beautiful. I love the eagle,
mm,
because it's almost like you're being shown that you are safe. You are
yeah,
safe to release your emotions. Both those dreams, like one after the other, like that, it's such a beautiful
yeah.
message that you've received.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, yeah,
really is. Yeah.
yeah. I felt quite buoyant, and I have been feeling quite buoyant after them.
Mm.
Um, and and I can feel the little shift, and the little shift is the allowing me to sit in that emotion and
Mm.
feel it, and I can feel it, and I have all of these memories that have flooded through my mind. There was one with my first ever boyfriend. I always remember this one. Um, and we were at his parents' place. I would have been about 16. He was, 18. Lovely man. And I think I told you last time I went through that anorexic period a couple of times. Anyway, this was one of those times. And we were sitting at the parents' house and he said, "Oh, I'll make you something. I'll get you some food, blah, 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 blah." And I can't remember exactly what I said. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sure. You don't really mean it." um, was my immediate reaction. And his mother went, and his mother went, "He would not have said that if he did not mean it." And it was always whoa, yeah. I mean, I dated this guy for about 3 years and knew his family really well. So it was but yeah, that always sits in my mind, always. It never goes away, given how many years ago it was. It's like one of those moments that actually never wanted to go back to. Yeah, that one and my parents, mum was just sort of randomly out there, you know. Parents were interested in my brother. I don't, this is the Irish Catholic thing, right? The woman, you just go off and do that. And then by the time I came along, they just didn't really care. I used to be out in the car taking all the guys out places, going to all the parties. I was the other girl. A lot of girls didn't like me. So I had a problem with feminine. That's the other thing for me.
Mm.
A big problem with women. And so doing something like this and being comfortable, like it's been over the last year when I did the Kundalini training, it was a woman. And that was a big step for me. Doing taking yoga and being comfortable that there's women in my class. It's mostly women. And I don't care now. Whereas I'm like, where are the men? Where are the men? Because I've never felt safe in feminine energy.
Mm.
Wow, this is
I
huge,
I relate to
Helen.
that. I relate to that.
Wow, and look
Mm.
at you both in this group.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
It was
amazing.
it's huge. It was
Yeah.
huge. Kundalini was the start of it. Stepping into a space and being open with people that I felt uncomfortable in feminine energy. I think because I was I don't know, I would be the one hanging out with the boys. I quite like their energy. I wasn't interested in dating
Mm.
any of them.
So
Easy, isn't it?
the other thing with this is when we've come from trauma, like you both have, you're so used to looking after yourself. So your inner masculine has come over and taken care of
Mm.
you. and taking
Yeah.
care of you so much it has overridden your feminine.
Yeah. Agree.
So that's why you would gravitate more to men as well, because you feel like they're safer, because your masculine is safer within you than your feminine. It's not been safe enough to feel soft, to feel feminine, to be yourself. And so now, and that's why it's like feeling the emotion that's coming up for you, for both of you, has been difficult to do. And, like Lillian, when you talked about, how smoking marijuana is your thing, well, that's just a distraction. That's your ego mind helping you distract yourself from the feelings that are coming up. It doesn't matter how we do it, whether we put up an emotional wall or whether we smoke marijuana. They're all distractions. They're all defense mechanisms where your ego mind's going, oh, I don't want to deal with this. We need to keep this shit down because this is not safe. And so let's just do something else to distract ourselves,
Yeah.
Love us.
So it's all normal. Like what you're going through is absolutely normal. But now you're aware of it. So now who's in charge, ladies?
Yeah.
Your feminine is starting to come out. And so you're supporting your feminine to feel safe enough to feel. Because that's what our feminine is. Our feminine feels everything. And stepping into trusting your intuition, that is so feminine.
Yeah.
The masculine is so good at the mind. The masculine lives in the mind. We don't. We live in our feelings. We live in our bodies. So we're learning to trust that part of ourselves.
That's that interdependency we've had since being kids. I can do it. I'm not going to ask for help.
Your masculine's looking after you, which is great, but
And
it's
then,
not so great when it's out of balance.
Yeah.
So I would love to look at what new limiting beliefs you ladies have put down, because I want to make sure that they are aligned with you. I want to make sure that they feel good. Because we've talked about how when these triggers come up, these two things. One is to sit with it and allow yourself to feel the emotion of it coming up. Dig deep into what is that real emotion, not the surface stuff, the feeling unloved, the judgment, the anger, the jealousy, all of that kind of stuff. It's all surface. What is really going on? There'll be some deeper emotions: hurt, loss, loneliness, rejection. That's all that. It's usually deep. Hurt and loss is usually the really deep stuff going on. Feel into that, and then what you're doing is you're stopping that thought in its tracks. Because what you're used to doing is you go from the trigger to the head, and then it becomes a thought train or a movie, right? But what you're doing is you're seeing the trigger, you're stopping the thought. Yes, the thought's still going to be there, of course it is, but you're just observing it. I see you. Feel into it. Allow it to release. You're stopping the thought train from even becoming a thing. And so when the thought comes up again, it's just a thought. It doesn't have any power over me. It's just a thought. That's all it is. It's not
thought
true.
train.
Where your truth is? You know where wisdom is? Soul. And do you know why? Your soul is the only eternal part of you, because it is you. This body, which is your mind, has only been here for, how old are you? In your 50s? That long.
60.
Yeah, like that long. That is tiny little space compared to how old our soul is. So wisdom and truth is your soul. It's not your mind. So anything that your mind tells you, it's just a story that you've created from before you were 3 years old, which actually isn't even yours, by the way. It's your parents. So we are like walking, talking versions of our parents. That's all we are. Until we get to the point today, or however when you realized it, that you are not your parents, that you are soul and that you have so much wisdom. It's just that you've forgotten, because we all do. Because imagine if we didn't have that veil come over when we were born, there's no way that we would enter into certain situations if we know what's going to happen on the other side, right? So we wouldn't grow. So the veil comes down for a reason. That's why we forget. But now you're remembering. So the next part of that is once you feel into that, you see it as just a thought. That's when you can change the belief, right? So that's when we use the belief, the new one, and you just say it. But I want to make sure that they are really empowering for you. They are really aligned for you. So I'd love it if you would share them with me, and I'll help you work through those to see how they feel for you.
Is that the affirmations?
Yes.
Yeah. I've got some written down. I wrote, it's okay to be sensitive. It means I am an empath. I'm unique and a healer.
How
Soon
does
I
that
will
feel?
learn.
Oh, sorry.
It feels like a step in the right. Yeah, it lifts weight off my shoulders. It
Okay.
really does, just flipping it. So it's okay to be sensitive. It means I'm an empath, unique, a healer. Soon I will learn how to not take on other people's energies or projections.
It's beautiful.
S-
It's beautiful.
and Soul
How
Academy. Oh, sorry.
oh, I just want to work with that one at the moment, if that's
Mm-hmm.
okay, because that's a perfect example. You've got yourself in it. You're giving yourself understanding that you're a work in progress, which is great, because if we put down I am, if it's too big, your mind's going to go, what the fuck, Lelina? That's a load of shite. That's never going to happen. And so it doesn't feel good in your body. If it feels good in your body, it's right. But we want to keep it as short as possible. So in the moment, are you going to remember that?
Maybe I just need to remember it's okay to be sensitive.
Yeah. That
It's
is
just it's
perfect.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. And how does
Everything you
that feel
feel
for
is
you?
okay.
If you say that, how do you feel? How does it
Um,
feel in your body?
Excited.
Good. You feel safe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Great.
it's almost like I'm not tricking. Well, like you said, you're just rewiring the brain. I'm tricking the brain back.
Well, you're just changing
It's
neural pathways. That's
yeah.
what you're doing.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. Well, if that feels good for you, then use it.
Mm, mm.
Have you got any more in there?
I've got 4 more. And you're right. I'm not going to remember them on the spot simply. So I need to break them down. Um, the next one is Soul Academy is going to teach me how to hear me and my intuition. Soul Academy will teach me how to protect my energy. I am on this journey now.
So
So
that's
maybe
great.
I am on this journey now.
Yeah, that's great but there's one thing in that
Mm-hmm.
is when you talk about Soul Academy, you're not talking about yourself, you're talking about someone else helping you, not you being
I am
aware
going
of
to
you.
teach, or I am going to learn, or I will teach. Yeah,
Or I am learning.
yeah.
I am learning. So I am learning, or I am working towards, or I am acknowledging, or I am seeing anything where
Mm,
you're acknowledging the fact that you are coming to this now to a point where you are practicing rather than you're already it. Because if you're
mm,
already it, that's when your brain's going to kick in and tell you that it's a load of shit and you'll never
mm,
get there. Whereas I am learning to, or I'm learning to feel, or I'm learning to feel more sensitive, or whatever it is that feels good. What feels good for you with that one?
mm. I'm learning to hear me.
I'm learning to hear me. Beautiful.
I'm learning to hear me.
Or my intuition. Whatever feels good.
Me, my intuition. Yeah, you had something recently on Facebook about how to learn which messages are the truth, what's not ego, and what's ego and what's really the intuition.
Mm.
I think it was one, if it keeps repeating, that means it's your intuition.
It keeps coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, it keeps coming
Yeah,
back.
when it keeps coming back. And it's always that first feeling. It's that feeling that gives you peace and excitement and safety and, grounding and calm. That's when you know.
Mm-hmm. And you feel calm.
And that's what you want to feel when you have an affirmation. You want to feel instantly, oh, feels good. That feels good in my body. That feels exciting or calm or peaceful or grounding.
Mm.
You don't want something that's going to keep you stuck in your head.
Yeah.
How about your other ones, sweetheart? Do you want to share those?
I'll shorten it. I am learning to manage my triggers. I will take care of little Lolina.
I love that. I am learning to manage my triggers. I love that.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, and that's what
the
I
only
keep
the
being
only
told
the only
at my
thing I
counseling. She said, print a picture of me as a little girl. She said, print a picture of you as a little girl and keep it on your wall and talk to her.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's lovely. One thing I would just say about the word manage, it's a very
Mm.
mind word.
Yeah, it's very business, isn't it?
It's very much about the mind being in control. So if you could find another word
Well,
that's like that, that feels more grounded in your body. How about I am learning to notice my triggers
yeah,
or
notice
notice
my trigger.
the triggers? Language is really important here. Notice the triggers. You don't want
The
to own them.
own,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
go away. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
I will
I am
notice the
learning to
triggers.
notice the triggers,
Hmm.
or I'm learning to notice triggers.
Hmm. I'm learning to notice the triggers.
Okay. Does
Yeah.
that feel good?
Yeah. Yeah. My other one is I want to learn, or I will learn the art of healthy conversations so I can remain calm when articulating and when there's a conversation with different points of view. That's a bit long and waffly.
It is,
So
but
I guess that's about sitting in, we go back to that's just sitting in the emotion until it's gone,
so
and
I
then
am,
trying to talk.
yeah, perfect. So how about I am learning to be present?
Yeah, because that's hard, that sums it up, doesn't it?
I mean, you can add, I'm learning to be present in each moment, or, if you want to add to that. But I am learning to be present is something that you can bring with you for every single situation,
Mm,
everything.
mm, yeah. My next one was, because this is I'm just reading about procrastination, and it is a trauma response. Well, that's what I'm reading about at the moment.
Yeah.
And because of everything we've discussed, that's why I procrastinate so much. I just get overwhelmed and 10 things go through my head and I go, fuck it, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to do any of those things. I'm just going to go to bed. But I've always procrastinated. So my other one is I'm really excited about learning how to stop procrastinating,
Ah, I love
because
that.
that will be kind of a domino effect after all the work's done. I'll
Mm, mm.
feel clearer and more in my skin and have more focus and direction, maybe.
The other thing you want to remember with affirmations too is that you don't want to focus on the thing. You want to do the opposite. You want to focus on the opposite of things. So rather than bringing procrastination in because your mind's going to go directly to that because that's the way it's wired,
Mm, mm.
you want to
It's like
change
when you
that.
teach.
I am learning to I'm learning to be aware of whatever feels right for you.
Be aware of what
I'll leave you with that one,
what is
sweetheart,
holding me
'cause
back.
I'm just
Yeah,
thinking, I'm just looking at the time here and I want
time.
to go on to Helen, so if we can.
Yes.
Helen, do you want to share yours?
Where I've landed is I'm learning to feel my feminine side.
Love that.
And that, so just as a preface to what I've written is, for me, because the way my brain thinks is that if I've got these, to get to these things means that all of these little behaviors or tricks that I put in the way to stop me doing that automatically get addressed by this one affirmation. So that's the way my mind is thinking. So
And does that feel good for you? Like when you
yeah,
say it,
really,
does it
when you
instantly take you there?
yeah, because when you said before affirmation should be calming, peaceful, or grounding, and when you'd asked Lena, how do you feel? And I thought, and when I was reflecting internally to myself, I thought I actually feel quite calm and grounded before you'd actually said that. So that's where it took me. I've written a couple of other things. It's like the other one is I'm learning it is safe for me to share my insights. That speaks
Beautiful.
that speaks to the intuitive side, but it also speaks to, it can be everything. It can be in the work environment, but it speaks to my intuition as well, and being and yeah, a whole range of things. For me it covers, actually I'm willing to share, I'm willing to be open, and I'm willing to receive. So that's there. I wrote this one down. I don't know why, but it's I'm learning to let the young girl in me emerge.
How do you feel with that one? Do you feel like a little girl?
Oh yeah, that one makes me cry.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
powerful. When it
Yeah,
really brings up emotion like that for you, then you know it's your one.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is beautiful, sweetheart. That's going to help you
Yeah.
release. This is amazing. I love it.
yeah,
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 that
yeah.
is beautiful. So, ladies, when you get them, but put them on sticky notes, put them everywhere as little reminders, even when you're not triggered, as little
Yeah.
reminders to yourself. Because they say that affirmations don't change your life, and it's true they don't, but they can definitely impact your transformation. Definitely make a difference when you're transforming from the version of yourself, the old version that you don't no longer have where you're outgrowing, to the new version. So the more that you can use your affirmations like this in every moment rather than just when you're triggered, the more you're going to remember that. I think Lalena's frozen. Have you frozen, darling?
No,
Oh,
no,
no, you
no,
haven't. God,
no.
it was just like, where have you gone?
I'm just listening really still.
Yeah.
I just keep saying, I don't know whether it's me, but by the cross, something wafting through the whole time that you've been there.
I've
Me
got
too.
incense.
Is that what it
I've
is?
got
Is that what it
incense. Yeah.
is?
Yeah,
It's
I
just
noticed it too.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just
like,
gone
what is
out.
that wafting through? Look, can't be smoke, surely, but it was. Okay, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
finished.
All right, ladies. Is there anything else that either of you want to share, bring up before we end the call? I just want to say you just done this has been incredible, some breakthroughs here, so you're doing really
I'm
well.
really happy. I'm really excited. I just love all these little light bulb moments. And as the
Mm,
light goes on, it just feels like little blocks of heaviness just
Yeah,
fall off.
yeah, that's great.
Mm.
So continue this work this week and
Mm-hmm.
just start being aware, to start noticing your triggers and changing the way you do things. And look, don't beat yourself up if you just acknowledge and then went back to the default way of reacting. It's okay, but you've actually acknowledged it, you've been aware of it,
Acknowledge
and
that too.
that's a huge step. Yeah.
yeah.
From when you have not even been aware all these years and then suddenly you are, that's massive. So give yourself some credit for the little things, the little baby steps that you're making with each of these, because this stuff is really big. This first module is really big. It's big unpacking stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and use the chat if you want to. Like, if there's anything that comes up for you that you want to share, good or bad, it's just an experience. Just share your experiences. If you need any support, use the chat. I'm there.
Yeah.
If there's something that comes up for you and you don't want to share it in the group, but you want some support with it, you can direct message me. Okay.
Cool. I just
I'm
want
going
to
to
say
be
something to
taking over.
Helen quickly. Helen,
Sorry.
I was going to come on your retreat actually
Are
about a
you?
month ago. I nearly booked it, and then my friend decided to have his 50th this
Oh,
evening. Yeah, he's one of my oldest friends. But my friend Rita's coming. I can't remember who she's going
oh.
with, but Rita
She's
is
going with Kerry. Her,
her bestie. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah. No,
bit jealous.
it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, it's just gonna be interesting, right? Because I'll be
Yeah,
in a slightly different
yeah,
space.
yeah, yeah.
It's gonna
Oh,
be
cool.
great. And then
Yeah.
last Saturday, I taught a fundraiser, which was an hour and a half. I tell you, people were absolutely whacked. And I think that's why I dreamed as well. So it was affecting